Hey there, Buckeye Nation. Welcome back to Buckeye Rising, your go-to channel for all things Ohio State football. I'm your host, Ace, and after a thrilling opening weekend, we're back for the next breakdown on Grambling State. Last week, the Buckeyes kicked off the season with a hard-fought victory against the Texas Longhorns. It wasn't always pretty, but a win is a win, especially against a quality opponent like Texas. Now we turn our attention to this Saturday's game against Grambling State. This is a different kind of challenge, but it presents some unique opportunities for the team to grow and, refine things. My first key point will revolve around the offense. Now, against Texas, we saw flashes of what could be with some long passes down the field, but also there was moments of the play call being really conservative. Run it up the middle, let's just get out of this game. This week, against a weaker opponent in Grambling State, I want to see the offensive coordinator, Brian Hartline and Ryan Day, open up the playbook and just find some really interesting plays, something they can experiment with, nothing that they're going to hold in reserve against quality opponents like Penn State and Michigan down the line, but something that they can start playing with and see what the team really has. I'm thinking trick plays, deep shots, maybe something creative in the red zone, just something to start playing around and see what we have to go with. We've got all these playmakers. Let's get them out in space. Let's throw the ball around. Let's try to get those running backs out to the corners. Let's try to get something going offensively that's innovative but still effective. As far as point two, we're going to talk about the defense. I would like to see more defensive heat brought, meaning I want to see players in the backfield going after the quarterback, but not losing pursuit on running backs or letting the quarterback just have a free run up the middle. With everything going on in the defensive line, new coordinator, new players, I just want to see consistent play that gets to the quarterback. Grambling State's offensive line should give the pass rushers time to work on their technique, on their stunts. I just want to see more hurries, more sacks. I want to see the Grambling State quarterback just be uncomfortable, happy feet, trying to move around too much and making mistakes. I think this game will be really crucial for building a dominant defense, especially in the mental aspect of the game. We know this is a talented unit. We know we've got quality players on the back end and cornerbacks and linebackers, but I want to see the defensive front get after the quarterback and yet maintain the box so that the running back doesn't get free or they get cheap plays out of us. So it's a bit of both worlds at the same time, but against this opponent, those are the expectations. Okay, key point number 3. They need to stay stable. There's no letdown in this game. And I think that comes out of the coaches. We want to see the coaches get the players ready. We just came off a big emotional win to open the season against Texas. I think there's always a potential for a little bit of a letdown because it's not a great opponent. They're going to sit around and say, we don't have to give our best. I think this is where we see Ryan Day's coaching and his staff, if they're going to keep the team focused, keep them disciplined from beginning to end. That means no mental errors, no taking plays off, just no easing up on the game plan. This is about maintaining consistency, developing those good habits, and showing that every game, regardless of whoever the opponent is treated with the same level of preparation and respect. Key point 4. I want to see how the second and third string players come off the bench. There is a lot of times in a season where people get hurt, where potential star players go down, and we need to be able to have the next man up mentality. And that starts in these games. I want to see those second and third string players come out against Grambling and just give it their all. I want to see dedication, intensity. I want to see them really take part in the game and not just treat it as, okay, we're running out the clock, let's just run the ball. I want to see the coaching staff give them something to really play with. I want to see Lincoln come out and play and just see him take over the game. If he is as good as they say, let's see what happens. There is a lot of talented players that are just sitting there waiting for their chance to play, and I think this will be the golden opportunity for them to show they're hungry and that they can step up and play in any game. Depth is going to be really crucial as we get later in the season. There's going to be plenty of strong teams out there for us to, sharpen our metal against. But if our reserves are not as good as everybody else, that's when we'll falter. I think it's not just about getting reps, it's about making sure those reps count. I want to see crisp execution, intensity, just desire, genuine desire to dominate the other team. Even if they're not going to see the field as much, I want to see where they're going to be present in the game or if they're just going to go through the motions. So there you have it. Those are my 4 keys to the Ohio State's game plan against Grambling State. It's going to be an important game for refinement, development, and building momentum. Sometimes you can learn more in a game against a weaker opponent than you can against great teams like Texas or Penn State. Ultimately, whatever the scoreboard is doesn't really matter as long as they win. A lot of people are going to prognosticate and say they should win by 40 or 50 points. And I highly doubt this era of football is going to allow that. I think it's more important that they come out, they develop themselves, they find solutions to problems, and that they just play as a team with all the intensity that we know they have. I'm not worried that they're going to run up the scoreboard and people are going to say they'll drop from number 1 if they don't win by 40 points. I think it's more important that they figure out who they are, what their identity is going to be this season, and just execute. Well, that's all I have for this edition of Buckeye Rising. What are your keys for the game? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the Buckeye coverage. Until next time, OHIO, go Bucks.